Hello, this is Sara with Posh Pooch Designs, and we are doing our live video chat on how to take your crochet on vacation. Let me pop these glasses off because all I can see is reflection. There we go. I've got Maximo with me today. He's wearing our new collar made out of Red Heart cordial, I can never say it, yarn. This is one of our new videos this week. So I'm going to go ahead and let him sit down there on the blanket. So do you have your coffee today? Well, today I've got my coffee, iced coffee. You can see I drank half of it. Good morning, Michelle. Clink. I've got iced coffee today because it is warm outside, even though we got a little bit of rain. So, and I've got my sun hat on, and I wore my Hawaiian moo-moo, sort of. It's really just a shirt because we're talking about how to take our crochet on vacation. Now, how many of you get questions all the time? I know I do. Can I take my crochet hook? Can I take a pair of scissors? Can I take my knitting needles? Will they take it away from me? Well, those are a lot of really good questions. And so I put together some questions with the answers to help us answer this question. So I hope everybody's out there. I only see a few of you clinked in. So anyway, the big question is, how do I find out these answers? So what you need to do is go to the website that's called Transportation, I'm going to put this up here, Security Administration, TSA. And they will answer all of your questions. But it's also a good idea, if you're going to take a cruise, check with your cruise line. If you're going to take an airplane, check with your airline. If you're going to just even jump in the car, but you're going to go to Disneyland or a theme park or something, always check the rules of where you're going and how you're getting there. Now, TSA does have a blog, and I'll put that in the comments of my blog, so that you can go there and read what they have to say. But here's the statement that's on their blog. It says, our domestic flights in the U.S., and this is the Transportation Security Administration, not any particular airline. On domestic flights in the U.S., knitting needles and crochet hooks are permitted by the TSA in carry-on luggage. So make sure you carry it on. You don't stick it underneath in your regular suitcase. The TSA suggests that you carry wooden or plastic needles over the metal ones. And the metal ones, the stainless, the steel and the aluminum can send the thing off. That when you go through and do your hands up or the check, it can send those off. Circular needles are also preferred over straight needles for knitting. But remember, every airline is different, and also, if you're flying overseas, every country is different. I know when we went to Mexico, to Cozumel, I was a little concerned, and so I took my plastic hooks. But I'm going to give you some answers to some of your questions. So that's number one. Check the rules of where you're going, what you're doing, how you're getting there. And you know, if you just get online and put in, like if you're going with Carnival Cruise, go into Carnival Cruise and check out their rules, and they'll be in there. Okay, number two. This is really important. Never, ever take a special hook or set of knitting needles or a pair of fancy scissors that are sentimental or expensive. Because if they take them away from you, you've lost them. You know, hi Trish, good morning. Clink to you. Like I said, I got my iced coffee. Good morning. Okay, so number two was never ever take expensive or sentimental hooks with you, or knitting needles or scissors or any of your supplies. For instance, say somebody that you love dearly made you a hook, or it was their hook from many years ago, and you take that with you, and then the TSA takes it, and you've lost that sentimental or expensive hook or crochet. So keep that in mind, especially when going overseas, because they do everything completely different. When we came back from Mexico, when we came back from Jamaica, our bags were completely opened up and looked inside. And I had a bottle of Jamaican jerk sauce they took. That didn't make me very happy. And I forgot. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about, we talked about what you shouldn't take. Let's talk about what you can take. Okay. Now, I suggest that you get plastic hooks at your local Hobby Lobby or Joann's or your, you know, whatever yarn store that you've got, or a craft store. And Michael's has them too. Plastic are great. Now, a lot of people will take the bamboo ones, and those are fine too, but these are cheap. I mean, a plastic hook is like, what, $1.50? And I have a whole set of these that I bought when Hobby Lobby had their buy one or 50% off or something off. I bought a whole set. That way I can take them with me. And if they do decide to take this, I've only lost a couple of bucks. It's not sentimental. Same thing, you know, and so, okay. Good morning, Selena. Have you got your coffee or whatever you drink in the morning? Clink. I love your name. Is that how you say it? Selena? That's very pretty. Okay, so we want to make sure we take a hook that they're not going to take from us. The second thing is scissors. Do not pack your great big scissors. A great thing to pack instead in your travel bag for your project bag is get you a pair of fingernail clippers. And these are cheapy ones I got at the Dollar Tree. And I always throw them in my bag because if I don't cut yarn that often when I'm traveling. Got it. Clink. All right. All you have to do is cut a piece of yarn. Clippers. Perfect. Now, a lot of people take toenail clippers. They're great too, but I just take my fingernail clippers. Great alternative to a pair of scissors. And they're not going to take these. This is not sentimental. It didn't cost you very much. And if for some crazy reason you're coming back from Europe and they do take them from you, you're out a buck or two maybe. Okay, so don't take your scissors. Take some clippers. Now, they do have those round things that have blades in them that you can spin. And those are great. But I didn't want to pay, you know, $5 or $6 for something. And plus, I can always use my nail clippers to clip my nails if I have to. Okay, so that's the next thing. On number 5, stitch markers. Now, in most crochet patterns, unless you're having to mark a number or a corner or something, in crochet, we don't use stitch markers as much. Knitting, of course, they use it more than we do. But it's a good idea to have some. And I get these kind when I travel. I like the ones when I'm working at home that just slide in. But when I travel, I like these kind that clip like a safety pin. And the reason I like to take these opposed to a safety pin is they're plastic. Yeah, a safety pin's cheap, but these are plastic. And it's a good idea because you're going to be interrupted often. You're heading to the airport and you're sitting in the airport lobby waiting for your plane and you're crocheting. Then it's time to go. Oh, you're in the middle of a row. Put that hook in there and that helps you remember where you're at, especially if you're going in rounds. You know, you want to put that hook in there. But also, then you get on the plane and you're crocheting for a while. You get off the plane. Hello, Karina. And anyway, it's a great idea to have it with you. Just to mark your spot, you know. And I usually have 2. I take 2 because sometimes I lose them, especially when I'm traveling. Okay, so that's number 5. All right, number 6, the yarn. Now, when I go on a trip, I try to take small skeins of yarn that I can pack in my bag easily. And my best thing to take is cotton yarn. And it's always good to have your yarn ready. Go ahead and fish out that end or have it prepared in a ball or however you're going to work it so that you're not sitting there at the airport fishing around and you pull out a big yarn barf and all of that stuff. So have your yarn ready, but also, unless you're making, like you're going to visit your grandbaby and you've got a bunch of yarn and you're making a big baby blanket, that's a different story and you have all your stuff together. But if you're just going and going to do some projects and you just need something to keep you busy and you want to stay crocheting, I really advise you to get some cotton yarn and these small ones, because I'll show you later about how to pack your project bag. These are great. And something that I do is if I'm going to visit someone and I'm going to stay in their house, I'll make them several washcloths. And then I'll roll them up, tie them in a bow, and put a little thank you note with it and leave the washcloths for them. I've made a project along the way, and then I've left them a gift when I left to remember me by. So, and that works great. When we stayed in Germany, when we used to live there, we stayed in little guest houses, and they're really fun to make, the little off-white ones, and add a little ribbon, you know. You can just use the end of the yarn to tie the bow. You don't have to take any ribbon with you. But anyway, cotton yarn is perfect, and make sure you've got your yarn ready. Now, another tip, something that I do, because I do have some medications that I take, I have some of these left over. And so what I do is I put my nail clippers in here. I put those 2 stitch markers in there. And then my needles, and we haven't talked about needles yet, but we're going to. And don't take any metal needles. Those are going to set off the alarm maybe. There's a couple of kinds that I like. This is just a plastic darning needle, and you can buy a pack of 4 or 5 of these. And then there's this, and this is my favorite thing, because they work for all different yarns, because you can open it a little bit, and you can buy a pack for like, I don't know, $3.99 or something, and there's 5 or 6 of those in there. So you'll need these for weaving in your ends. And so I put a couple of those in this bottle also, and then I put the lid on it, and I do it this way because I don't worry about it being childproof. I have a hard enough time getting stuff open. And you've got it all in this nice little case. Now, yes, your clippers are metal, but usually they're not really a problem. I've never had an issue. Okay, so now let's talk about our project bag. Now, you're carrying on a carry-on, and sometimes you've got a computer or a laptop, and you can't really have a 3rd bag. I fly Southwest a lot, and you get 2 bags. And so what I do is I get a zip bag. It fits 3 of these yarns perfectly in the bottom. Then my plastic crochet hooks, and I put my bottle that I have all my pieces in, because that way I don't lose them. I stick them in my zip bag, push the air out, just like that, and then it slips right inside my carry-on. So it's a great way to keep track of things. And if you think about it, even if you lost this, you're only out about $10. You know, and I know $10 is still a lot of money, but I mean, and think about how many washcloths you can make. You know, and a lot of times I'll take that other one, put it right on the top. Just like that. And you've got a project bag to go. All the pieces that you need. None of those things should cause you any issues whatsoever. Something that I do, that sounded funny. Something that I do when I go to the airport and you have to put your stuff in the bin, I always take this out of my purse. You don't have to take your phones or your iPads out anymore, or a DIA, Denver National, they haven't made us do it. But you have to put your purse in there and your shoes, and then I just pull this out. That way, if there is an issue, they can see what it is. It's a kit for me to take along with me. And a lot of times I'll have a project started already and have that in the side also. So, and that just helps you travel with your crochet. And the truth is, this works great for knitting too. Just make sure you use small balls and take plastic crochet or plastic knitting needles. And they do have the plastic ones that have the rounded ones also. I think I saw an episode, I think it was NCIS, where someone was on an airplane and they got stabbed with a pair of knitting needles. And I thought, oh no, they're not going to let us take knitting needles anymore. But they do. Just make sure they're plastic. Okay. Now, that is everything that we talked about except the pattern. Now, you notice I don't have a pattern in here. I really recommend, a lot of people are adamant about printing off their patterns, and I just don't. And what I do is I download them in my phone. You can put them in a Kindle app, or just download them to your pictures or whatever. Put them in your phone, and then you always have them. But if you do feel like you need to print them off, you can slide them right inside there, and it's not a problem at all. I also download them into my iPad, because I usually take my iPad, just stick them in iBooks. I just put my favorites in there. And a lot of the airlines have internet now, so you can go to Ravelry and pop up your patterns. So, I mean, I don't know. I've just gotten so, I can't even remember the last time I printed off a pattern, because I just don't do it that way anymore. I know a lot of people don't have iPads, but almost everybody has a smartphone anymore, and you can download those patterns, and you can also go right to Ravelry on your phone and go to the blogs where the patterns are at. I just don't want the extra hassle of having to have the paper. That's all. Now, are you wondering why I'm wearing this crazy hat? I bought this hat and this other one a few years ago at the Dollar Tree, no less, because we were getting ready to go on our Alaska cruise, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to, how sunny it was going to be, and it was actually really, really cold, and I only wore them a couple of times. But I wanted them to have a pretty band. See that? So I made some bands for them. And it's just a simple double-sided shell stitch with the flower. And since today we were talking about going on vacation, I wore kind of a moo China kind of shirt, and I wore my Hawaiian hat. I really like this one. It kind of has a really cool print in it, like fire. It's a great way to match your clothes and use up some of your yarn, because you can get like I got a light beige and a dark beige hat, and you can just make some bands. And I'm going to have this pattern on my my YouTube channel this week, so you so you can go there. Let me grab some coffee. So you can go and get that off of there. The other things we have going on this week is the collar that Maximo was wearing at the beginning. Yes, it is a nice way to personalize your accessories. The collar that he had on at the beginning, we made that video yesterday. And in the video, it shows you how to add the clips and the D-rings. And then also, at the end, it explains how to make a leash that matches. This week, we're also going to be doing this blanket. This is a basket weave blanket. And this one is the size for a small dog. But I'll have the instructions on there for how to make it larger. But this is one that we're going to be doing this week. It's an older pattern that we're updating and making a video for. The other one we're doing is called the Opa's hat. And I decided to go ahead and do this one. Let me put it on for you because it's really fun. This one was made for my husband, and my grandkids call him Opa. And it's just a bucket hat. It's just a bucket hat. It's got a crease there from where it's been laying flat. But the problem that I have run into is that this pattern has been shared all over the place without my permission. So since the pattern is on my blog and it is a free pattern, I would prefer people to come to my blog and get the pattern, not copied off and share it all over the internet. So I decided, rather than getting upset about it, I'm going to go ahead and make a video to show you how to make it, and try to get people back over there to see that this person that stole the pattern from me is selling it. And so it's a free pattern. And so come back to my blog, come back to my YouTube and get it for free. Don't pay the I think it's $4.99 is what he's charging for it. And I can't seem to get him to remove it. And I have tried, but we're not going to go there. That's negativity. We're not going to go there. So what's happening this week at Posh Pooch Designs? I'm going to show you how to make hat bands to match your clothes in a video. We're going to show you how to make a fun basket weave blanket. This is a great picnic blanket too because it's nice and thick. We're going to show you how to make our Opa's hat. This is the hat my husband wears when he mows the lawn. And where'd Maximo go? Oh, he's over there sleeping. I think I'll let him sleep. But we'll show you how to make that nice dog. That we did the video yesterday and released it yesterday. And how to make the dog collar. So that's what's going on this week at Posh Pooch Designs. And I hope you will take a few minutes and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And just a couple of words about my YouTube channel. If you're looking for what everybody else is doing, I'm not that. I'm different, and I hope I'm fun, and I'm a little crazy and forgetful. But I love to crochet, and I love yarn, and I love knitting also. I love knitting, but I love writing crochet patterns and fun things that people can do. And we've just started our YouTube channel, and it's not like everybody else's. I want it to be informative and fun and different, because tons of people are out there doing YouTube stuff. And I like them. I enjoy the videos, but I don't like them to be an hour and a half long that I have to watch. My goal really was never to go over 15 minutes. And hello, Audra. Good morning to you too. My goal was never to make really, really long videos. And at first, like I said, I only wanted to be like 15 minutes. And now I've kind of gone into making about 25 minutes. Oh, hi, Linda. She said she just got a brand new Yorkie and she's going to be making some things. I have lots of free patterns on my blog. And of course, all my Posh Pooch design patterns are on Ravelry. So go have some fun. There's nothing funner than getting a brand new dog you can make things for. Or any dog. My dogs, I discovered this last time I took them to the vet, they're seniors now because they're over 7. So, I don't have a shout out today other than my daughter is Callie's Clips and Crochet Creations. She's Elizabeth Sach Spivey from Callie's Clips and Crochet Creations. And they just had a great big move. Her husband is in the police academy and they moved out to Mustang, Oklahoma. And they could really use the help because when you're transitioning from one home to another, there are a lot of a lot of expenses that you weren't expecting. Rosie's whining a little. She gets a little tired when I do these because she's not getting attention. Anyway, I'm going to put her blog on there. Hey, babe, that's my daughter, Elizabeth. But anyway, I'm going to put her blog on there, her links and stuff, and just go over and buy a couple of her patterns. They're awesome. A funny story, and then I'll close this down. A man in our church, he has a brand new grandbaby. He kept sending me pictures that he couldn't get through. For some reason, wherever he was trying to send them to me, it would say, not permission. You know, sometimes you can't share something, it just won't let you. And then Sunday morning, he walks up to me and shows me on his phone this wonderful, cute little bumblebee photo prop. And I said, oh, that's my daughter's. And he said, what? I said, yeah, my daughter does crochet also. And she designs wonderful photo props and hats and lots of other things too for children. And that's her pattern. I said, when you want it, just, let her know and she'll make it for you. So anyway, I thought it was quite funny. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you go on vacation, remember to be safe and pay attention with a lot of the terrorist stuff that's going on out there. And, it's really sad what happened down in Florida because nobody has a right to take a life, especially a terrorist. So anyway, I'm not going to go into all of that. Just pray for those folks and pray for healing. And I hope, like I said, when you go on vacation, just be careful and use those tips that I gave you. It'll keep you out of trouble. Those lines at the TSA are always going to be long. That's just how it is. I know, coming back through customs and all that stuff, you get exhausted. The first time we went to St. Lucia, West Indies, the first time when we went, I felt like it took 3 days to get there. And then we were there for a week. And then it seemed like it took 3 days to get home. And I was so exhausted from our vacation because the whole time we're there, we don't just sit on the beach. We move 100 miles an hour and go see everything we can. And I think I had to sleep for a month. But it was a blast. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. And thank you for watching my live video with me today and visiting in. If you missed the beginning, if you missed the tips, you can always watch it from the beginning. It'll be on Facebook. And then after a bit, once I edit it a little bit, it'll be on my YouTube channel for you to watch whenever you want to. So like I said, thanks for tuning in and have a wonderful summer. Bye-bye now.